everyone, and welcome to October's Plan With Me. So I had a difficult time this month trying to work out what my theme is going to be, because October of course brings Halloween, and Halloween is one of my favourite times of the year because who doesn't love getting to dress up and hand out candy and all the rest that goes with it. But I decided I didn't want to do a whole month of that. So in the end, I went with leaves. So it's the start of autumn here in the UK, or fall for our American friends. So I thought that going with the leaves, the changing of the colours, was a good thing to go for this month. And I started off with this quote that I discovered literally while making this, which is, "Autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go." And I think that's pretty fitting at the minute. September hasn't been one of the best months. There's been a lot of things in my life that seem to not want to follow the plan, but it's also something that we have to let go of, move on, and then we can create something else out of it. And then for my title page, just a really simple font to show us the month. And then of course I've gone with my different types of leaves all the way around. This month I've actually decided as well to add some colour in. So it's not something I've particularly done in any of the other months, and I've just kept it nice and simple with all the line drawings. But this month I thought we needed a change, and this month everything has been coloured in pretty much. So we get to see all those beautiful colours we get throughout autumn, the reds, the yellows, the oranges, the greens, just all those different shades, which is what are going to make the trees be ever so pretty very shortly. So my monthly layout, I left this pretty much the same as I've done all my other ones so far. The only real change is that I've actually, instead of just doing the corners of each day of the week, I have done a whole box around each one of them. I wasn't going to, and then when I started drawing the leaves, I discovered that some of the pictures that I'd drawn went behind things, and it looked a little bit weird without having the full line. So I decided that instead of leaving it looking strange, I would go for a whole lined in box. And then I've carried on with the theme of the leaves again, doing the same leaves and then adding with the sort of oak leaves, little acorns in the spread as well, and then carrying on with the full colour. I've not used these colouring pencils really before. That's something that I've had in the cupboard for a while, but I never really did much with them. But I really liked how easy they were to work with. They're actually nothing particularly fancy either. They're a WH Smith brand, which is a stationery kind of store here in the UK, but they blend really nicely for what I was doing. So I was able to do different colours, and then so when I did the greens like here, I could start with a paler green and then layer in a darker green, and the same with all the other leaves in the different colours. And I was really pleased with how well it worked for a set of pencils really that were quite cheap and nothing fancy at all. this month I haven't changed any of the habits. I've kept all 7 the same because I realised throughout September I have not been the best at keeping up what I set out to do. Some I've been better at than others, but on the whole I've been pretty awful at doing a lot of them. So I decided instead of changing it, adding in new ones, I'd stick with the same and try and be a lot better this month. And again, just along the top, I've added in the little extra leaves and decorations in to tie it into the rest of the page. I've only done a little bit at the top. I haven't gone into all the empty space just in case I change my mind. And here you can see where I realised I'd forgotten to number my monthly spread, so I went back. For my expensive page, I have kept this exactly the same as every other month so far because this layout really worked for me. Just having the different weeks for the month and then my 4 different sections that I set up when I originally set up my bullet journal. Those are my sort of household bills, groceries kind of thing, car, extras, and then my income. So it just means I can see quite literally everything coming in and out each month and make sure I don't overspend. And then just some simple decoration again at the top. So I've done away with the mood tracker this month because I just haven't been using it and it just sits there uncoloured in. So I've just had a really simple ideas page and then a really simple notes page just in case. So for my weekly spreads, I've changed my layout a little bit this month just to try something new more than anything else. I know I've kept fairly the same so far, where I've had 8 boxes on the thing, so they're vertically rather than horizontal, so it's 4 to a page still. But this month I thought, let's change it up, let's try a different kind of spacing just to see if this works better. And it also meant that I could have a bit of a space on each one to have a little leaf related doodle. So I've still got 8, so I've still got 1 for each day of each week. And then the bottom right hand one, so the last one, is going to be either any notes that I want for that week or any tasks for that week that don't have to be done on a particular day. I discovered last month that I ended up having weekly tasks and nowhere really to put them. And I didn't want to write them, say, on Tuesday, when actually I didn't want to do them on Tuesday, I just had to do them at some point. So I like having this extra box that isn't specifically for notes or for tasks, and I can use it whichever way suits me at the time, and then I can be flexible with it. So if I have loads of notes or if I have loads of tasks, I can put them in there. And then if I discover that actually I need more space than that, next month I'll have a look at maybe having smaller days of the week. If I notice that there's a pattern where there are definitely days of the week where I don't ever really write much, I might try changing the sizes of the boxes, so instead of all being the same, they can be proportional. And again, this month I'm setting up all my weekly spreads for October now because I realised I don't really have time sometimes during the week to go in and sit and spend that time setting them up. So if I do them all now, it's all sorted. And then if I need any additional pages, I then add them in throughout the month behind all my weekly spreads instead of sort of in the middle, which I also quite like because it means that I can find all my weekly spreads together without having to skip over any additional pages that I may have added in. And then I'm forever losing the weekly spread I need because there's a notes page in the middle of it or there's something similar. But I really enjoyed these different types of leaves that I've sort of been doodling. I've spent some time Googling the different autumn leaves and looking at the colours and the different shapes we get. Because of course, we all draw, if we get asked to draw a leaf, we all kind of draw a similar simple shape. And actually there's all sorts of different patterns that we have. Different sizes, some have straight edges, some have jagged, some are all one piece, some have extra pieces off them. And it's been really fun having a look at these different shapes and then recreating them into my drawings. So you can see the top box has that kind of more stereotypical leaf shape. And I mean, like, if someone says to draw a leaf, we all tend to draw something along that shape. But there's so much more out there. So I have definitely tried to include a variety throughout the month. And I've also tried to do a variety of colours, so they're not all green, they're not all just red. So some of them are green, some of them are red, but I've also tried to do greens and reds together, and I've had the yellows and oranges, and just because I'm feeling bold, there are some pinky purple ones in there too. And then for my last weekly spread, because like I said at the beginning, I love Halloween, I couldn't not include Halloween. So the last week of the month, which is the week Halloween falls in, is my Halloween spread. So the layout for the boxes is the same, but instead of drawing leaves in those boxes, I've got some ghosts of different kinds, I've got some pumpkins, I've got my boo statement, and I've got a little spider at the bottom as well, just so I haven't completely forgotten my love of Halloween in here. I'm not sure what it's going to look like this year, because I'm pretty sure we're not going to be allowed to go trick-or-treating, so there's probably going to be no visitors at my door, but I can celebrate it in my journal, and I might have a little party on my own regardless anyway. I hope you've enjoyed, and here's my final flick through.